Take a Ride podcast. I'm your host here, Starks. You can find me on my Twitter handle. It's at Starks_industry. You can also find me on Instagram, One Closing Hero. I'm not here alone this evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be in the fantasy world. I have the combo guard running the two, Jacob, the White Knight. How you doing today, brother?
Doing well, brother. We're expected to have about 6 inches of snow out here up in Colorado. So I'm a little bit scared for tomorrow, but I'm doing well tonight. That's for sure.
Man, that's pretty rough. Listen, man, ever since you got the Forrest Gump haircut, man, you kind of went in on Mello on last night's episode. That's unlikely of you, but it was definitely a fun episode. So I'm interested to see what's in store today in tonight's episode. So I'll pass you back to I'm taking the ball. What am I doing here? This is the type of episode we're getting ourselves into. So not only Jacob is here, but we have LT the Sage running the wing at 3. How you doing today, brother?
Doing good. Got the 3 to the dome right there. That's right. 3 mellow time.
Yeah, this is going to be an odd one. So you guys, thank you guys for tuning in to Take a Ride podcast. Make sure before we get to this episode, we're going to go over recent news, and at the same time, we'll go over most of the games here to kind of go through them and sift them because there's a lot of games. But guys, check out the website newlifefantasy.com. Join the mailing list. Also, join as a member. That way, when blogs are dropped into your phone or in your email. Oh man, I'm all freestyling all over the place, but this is beautiful content because it doesn't even matter. We only take one shot here. At least that's what we think. But you guys join the mailing list in that aspect. Not only do we do fantasy basketball, we cover fantasy football and baseball on the site. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, check us out on YouTube. LT's putting the hard work behind that. Make sure you sub-zero that subscribe button at the bottom. Hit that bell. It's dinner time. So when you need to eat, for the YouTube videos, it's there for you and it's available. Also, comment below. It helps us to continue to grow, as well as give us a thumbs up. Also, Take a Ride podcast. Give us a 5-star rating if you have iTunes. We're available in pretty much all podcast formats, so go ahead and subscribe to that. And with that being said, I'm ready to take people on for a ride. And Jacob, I'll actually pass you the ball to run that offense on one of the recent news that we got here, brother.
Absolutely. This news comes from a Dynasty dandy here, Hamidou Diallo of OK City. Unfortunately, he has a hyperextension sprain in his right elbow, and he's going to be out at least 4 to 6 weeks, which is such a bummer. I mean, he's been such a steal specialist at the least, but he has a ton of promise. So hopefully he can come back in that time frame for sure. But I'm going to pass the ball there to you, Starks. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is an unfortunate situation for OKC, a talent that needs to be on the court, or at least he needs to be healthy, because this is one of those things where I kept saying, hey, please start this guy. Stop starting Ferguson or Fergie, we would like to call him. I just don't like to see what's going on there in OKC. He doesn't have the most upside, but just the athleticism alone is a beautiful thing to see. For him to be out this amount of time, it sucks. But I'll say this at the same time. Thank you, LT, real quick, that you put me on top, because last episode you're trying to get me at the bottom. So I do ask you real quick, what happened for you to fix things here real quick, LT?
Yeah, so I went into my bag of tricks real quick. Put out a trap card, was able to go ahead and get this fixed. So you're welcome, Your Majesty.
Thanks. So Hamidou Diallo, in a sense, is going to be Terrence Ferguson, still getting the minutes in a dynasty format. He's not like really a redraft guy you should care about, but I'm just looking at it in a deep dynasty format. I'll pass you the ball there real quick, LT. What's your thoughts on Hamidou Diallo there, brother? Yeah,
this is very unfortunate because you wanted him to get more time. I feel like, unfortunately, like we stated before, Terrence Ferguson just getting all the minutes, all the time, all the run. Diallo was getting a little bit of extra run coming into this, but it's very unfortunate what happened to him. So hopefully, especially in dynasty formats, he comes back stronger and ready to go. But to be honest with you, Ferguson's going to get more run, probably just more shots for SGA and some of the starters, to be honest with you.
Nice. Let me steal the ball there real quick, if that's okay. If you want to take a shot in a deep dynasty league, I would go for Darius Bazley. What do you think about that, Starks?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So yeah, absolutely. I would. He's a very, very deep dynasty, or even just a deep league that you could consider in that aspect. Yeah, I'm with you on that. You got any more thoughts on him in particular there, White Knight?
No. I just figure that there's like some open minutes. Yeah. So it's either him or it's Abdel Nader, but I don't see. I would rather pick up Bazley over him for sure.
Yeah, there's really not too much upside. That's why I didn't even mention anybody particular to pick up. But yeah, Bazley would be the guy there. So LT, I'll pass you back the rock there, as you would say, if you could want to go ahead and run that offense on the games here today.
Yes, brother, I appreciate that. We're gonna actually go through a heavy slate of games on Monday. So we're gonna go ahead and just get the ball rolling with this Philadelphia-Toronto game. Philly 96 loses to Toronto 1-1. And I usually give you that the points leaders, and Ben Simmons comes in with 40.8, and Siakam with 45.90 points. Really nice. And so I'm going to go ahead and touch up on Philadelphia real quick. Looking at Tobias Harris, 7 for 17, 3 snipes, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 swipe with 18 points. Looking really good. And I'm actually going to pass the rock over to White Knight. What happened to Joel Embiid? Did he decide to go eat his turkey a little too early this year?
0 for 11? Yeah, man, he's been already struggling this year, and this is absolute rock bottom. Oh my god, yeah. I think he had that Thanksgiving, the Friendsgiving. He had one every day that weekend, and he was sluggish tonight. Man, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, if there's ever, and I'm going to pass ball to Starks here. What do you think about a buy low? Or is this like a panic mode and I'm not even going to touch him?
No, it's not a panic mode. I want to definitely buy him if you can in this situation. But I can't believe he laid an egg, like a real egg,
like
at 0 points.
Serious egg.
Like a serious egg, like 0 for 11. Like, that's hard to believe. But man, you at least think you make one shot, but he missed all of his free throws too. That's really weird, man. But it's definitely a buy low situation. And I'll pass you back the ball, Jacob, if you want to touch up on more there, brother, on those players.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to switch over to the Raptors, and yeah, I mean, I keep giving Fred VanVleet a lot of flack here, but he's still producing. Wheels are not falling off. Like, he's producing while Lauri is out. Now, that is a huge asterisk. While Lauri is out, he's doing this stuff. I'm curious if he can keep this up while he's back, even though he was having a good year with him there. This to me is definitely a sell high while you can. But if you keep him, that's okay. I mean, he had a great. He went 9 for 15, 3 snipes, 8 assists, 2 steals. I mean, he had himself a day. So that is great to see. I'm going to pass the ball to LT. What do you think about your boy, OG?
Nunno B. I'm just glad he's playing again. 5 for 10, 35 minutes. I love the run. 5 for 10, 2 snipes. Missed both of his free throws. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal and 1 block. Got you those stock stats. I know the big wigs don't like stock stacks, but that's what we say here. 1 steal, 1 block, 12 points. I love it. I love it for where you got him at. This is a standard game from him. I actually like it. He doesn't hurt you really, other than those free throws. Usually he's a little better in those free throw area, but doesn't hurt you really in any particular place. One thing I did want to point out, we already know Pascal is doing his thing. So, I mean, this stat line is 2 blocks. Wow. This stat line is just what we come to expect from him. Almost 40 minutes, too. Heavy run. But again, I don't understand it. They had a tight rotation tonight, right? I really expected Chris Boucher to get more run tonight with Marc Gasol almost laying an egg like Joel Embiid. Now, Did get you some weird stats here. 9 assists, 6 rebounds from Gasol. But only 2. I mean, he got you 2 blocks, but 3 points, 1 for 8.
Yeah.
6 of his 8 shots were threes. Get down there, big man. Get down there. Come on now. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch the rock over to Starks. Anything on here that pops out at you, man?
Yeah, Dave Hollister, Rondé Hollis Jefferson out here, man. That really sticks out to me coming from the bench. And like you kind of said, Chris Boucher not getting the minutes, but I'll get back to him real quick. RHJ, this is one of those guys that we wanted him years ago to be that punch, that underrated player that was going to do something for you in fantasy. And the minutes has been a little bit I wouldn't say super consistent, but the 24, 26, 30 range, that's not too bad. And it can be handy. Maybe they utilize him a little bit more, playing more of the small balls, not necessarily using Chris Boucher, which is really weird. But the stats that he put up tonight was really good. Now, I'll say this in a deep format. He's definitely, it's hard for me to stomach this, but he could be a pretty much a speculative ad for you maybe, and see what happens. Now, Terrence Davis is another guy that is an interesting player in particular too, that you can maybe keep an eye and watch on him and see what happens. But honestly, the Gasol stats, I'll take those 9 assists all day. Although he missed a lot of those shots, he still got 34 minutes. So that was beautiful to see, this, especially in a tight game like this. So what kind of bothers me still is, Serge Ibaka wasn't in this game, and Chris Boucher, as you guys were, you were speaking about, LT just only got 13 minutes. So that's unfortunate. I'm going to still, just because I want to, in a dynasty format, in a deep format, I would still try to get him on my team. And you're just going to have to deal with this unfortunate situation. But we can go on to the next game there, LT.
All right, brothers. Well said. Well, I will go ahead and switch over into the next game. And the next game is going to be Charlotte versus Miami. Charlotte comes out the losers, unfortunately, 100 to Miami's 117. Miami's looking really good at 12-4 on the season. Terry Rozier comes out at top of your points list with 34.30. And then Bam Bam Bigelow. Adebayo, 44.10 points. Right. Exactly. He had a game, and so we'll be looking at specifics here. But I'll go ahead and shoot a quick shot here. And looks like the Devontae versus Scary Terry. This is like an inter matchup every night. You got to watch it. You got to see who's out dueling. Yeah. And Terry Rozier wins out tonight. 7 for 15, 3 snipes, 2 for 2 from the charity, 9 rebounds. Wow. 5 assists. No stock stats, but that's okay. 19 points. I'm going to pass the rock over to you, White Knight. Devontae Graham didn't have a terrible, awful game, but he definitely, it looks like Terry won out. What do you feel about that kind of point guard dude?
I'm going to steal the ball.
Yeah,
I'm gonna steal the ball, and pass it back to LT.
Okay.
If you're stuck right now, and what I mean by that, if you're in a position in a dynasty format, who do you take, Terry Rozier or Devontae Graham?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Yeah. Get close. Hey, listen. This is not gonna be a. You already know what my answer is, Starks. That's why you asked this. I would take Terry Rozier personally.
And I'm gonna pass the ball to you, Jacob. Who do you take?
So I'm taking Rozier just because strictly they gave him all that money over the offseason, and he's going to have at least 3 years of production, and he's still producing. And he's still starting. So I would go with the safety of Rozier, but it's not easy, I will say. I'm going to pass the ball to you there, Starks, because I think you're going to say something different there.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm going to take Teddy Grahams here. And it's just because what makes sense is consistency. And I understand that, Jacob, from your logic. And at the same time, LT, it makes sense. And then another thing to keep in mind is anybody that drafted Terry Rozier, you paid a decent premium on him, right? True. Get the expectations of what he's going to do this year. And then number 2, just like what Jacob said, they paid him the contract. So you would think they would have to make sure that he gets all the opportunity in the world. But honestly, at this point in time, I'm still going to go Teddy Grahams here. That's not to say that he's going to be the better player, but just a gut call, as Lewis would kind of do, that's what I'm looking at. And these assists, he's really realistically orchestrating the ball. And one of those games that he hit a game winner, they were drawing up plays for him. So although he was inefficient this game, I definitely want to, still say he's a solid player. But it's going to be one of those things is who's going to be the better player. Right now, the safe bet would be the Terry Rozier route, but I'll take Devontae Graham. But I'll pass you the ball there, Jacob, on other plays you want to talk about in this game there, brother.
Yes. So in this game, I have 3 of my streamers on my streamer list that were playing in this game. And my number 1 streamer here was Kelly Olynyk. And if you can scroll down to his stats, he was a very efficient 5 for 8 with 4 snipes, 16 boards, 2 steals, and 15 points. So I really hope that someone was able to take my advice, because I was really high on him. And I still am. So if he's still floating and you need that streamer, he still has 3 more games this week against beatable defenses. So this game, I knew there was going to be some time for all of the bench players to produce, and I still think he will. Now I will go to my other streamers here. So I had Nicholas Batum around my 5 spot, and he didn't get as many minutes as I thought. He did get you a snipe and 2 boards, 4 assists, and 3 steals, which is nice. He didn't do a ton else, but why I liked him is like what LT says. He brings the whole bag, right? He stuffs that burrito. He gives you a little bit of everything, right? So maybe. I mean, he was getting minutes in the mid-20s, but this was kind of a blowout-ish, and so he didn't really play in this game a ton. But he did get you those 3 steals, which is nice. And then I also, on the Heat side of the ball again, I had Duncan Robinson, which I just said you're streaming him for his 3s, and he got you those 2 3s, and he got you 3 swipes. So all those streamers are at least helping you, vastly available across leagues. So I still believe that they can help you with 3 more games left and 3 defenses that are easily beatable. So with that, I'm going to pass the ball. Who wants the ball? I'm going to pass the ball to Starks. Anything else you see there?
Yeah. So real quick, good call on those, the waiver wire, the streaming options, especially Kelly Olynyk. That was a really good call. And honestly, Duncan Robinson, although that was 2 snipes, listen, that is handy, but the 3 steals, that's just like you had mentioned, those 3 steals is a bonus. That's icing on the cake for any fantasy owner. But I'll do a hot pass, as LT would say, right back to him if he wanted to talk about anybody, because I'm going to talk about none. That's about it there.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to just go ahead and touch up on Jimmy Butler, 6 for 11. He didn't get you a snipe, but 9 from 9 from the charity stripe. He is aggressive this year. 7 assists. And I wanted to just touch up on that. His assist levels. The only person who beat him out was Goran Dragic, who had a pedestrian game, but still got you 9 assists if you're tiling him out on the back of your bench there. Just crazy. This team is actually really good, and we have to we have to keep track of them on fantasy fantasy purposes, because they're not even at full strength. So just keep that in mind.
Man.
Justin Winslow still has to come in there. Derek Jones, they're not even at full strength yet. And if Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic can still produce with this point guard carousel, keep an eye out for this team. They may all 3 be worthy of a pickup. Maybe Dragic, at least in those 14-team leagues for sure. I'll go ahead and hot sauce pass it over to you, Starks.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely Miami is a very good team. Like I don't. It almost seems like nobody really talks about him but us. It seems like right now. But I'll say this: Bam Adebayo, like you had talked about, Bam Bigelow. This guy is a really good big man. Yes. And these are the type of big men I like, honestly. The cheat code. But I don't like big man that's going to torpedo my free throws, right? He doesn't do that to you. He gives you the good rebounds. Even the sneaky assist. That's what I love about my big man. With the 5 assists, and the 21 points. This is an awesome game for him. And honestly, he's going to be a top 40 player or better at this point in time. I thought maybe around the 60 to 50 range, but no. A safe side to say is he's a top 40 player or better. And if you're in a dynasty format, you're feeling good because this guy is young. I know he was chomping at the bit when Whiteside left. So this was just another beautiful thing to put a feather under your cap. And just like what LT said with the guard situation, they're going to play that carousel game. Unfortunate musical chairs, but Kendrick Nunn, he still brings it. There's going to be unfortunate times that he's not going to bring it just because of how all the guards are there. But we can go ahead and transition to another game there, LT. I'll pass you the ball there, brother.
Hey, I caught the ball. I'm ready to penetrate. So, all right, we got Sacramento versus Boston. Sacramento Kings 102, Boston 103. Wow, close game. Oh, I know, close game. And Buddy saw your tweet, Starks. He said, "Oh, I'm fifth ADP. I'm gonna show you 49 points." With it looks like he had a 41-point game, and so he leagues there. And then Marcus Smart actually with 49.10 points on Boston side. He's smart. He's smart indeed. And I'm gonna go ahead and look at these stats. So Buddy Hield, I gotta talk about him, right? He did not Hield at all to shooting. 26 shots tonight, 15 for 26, 11 for 21 from the three. That's right.
Yes.
Talk about pump up the volume. 21 threes. I don't. That has to be like the most this season. I've never seen anyone shoot that many threes. 21 threes. He's not even. He didn't even think about getting close to the paint tonight. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. You'll take it. And he even added a block. Usually that's not his calling card. 41 points tonight, absolutely going off. And Starks, wow, what do you feel about this Hield? He saw your tweets, man. He said he had enough.
Yeah, what I still have enough from him on is he didn't fall in any steals. Once again, 0 steals. And this may, of course, be me nitpicking because I keep thinking like, dude, get your averages still a game. He's not doing that. But no, this is an excellent game. He's dropped all those points. And honestly, I wish he would have done this again. You know what? Lewis would have been funny to have in this episode because he doesn't really beat me in fantasy basketball, but he finally won. And unfortunately, Buddy Hield didn't have this type of game when I needed it against him. So he basically got to basically skate. But good job to you, Lewis. But anyways, going back to this in particular, Corey Joseph, although it's not sexy, he's still getting the starts there. Yeah. So you just got to take it for what it is with the assist that he'll provide. He's not going to score you a lot of points, but the minutes is what Jacob really focuses on. And I think that's important. A lot of people, in a sense, in the fantasy community overlooks that. Minutes is very important regardless. You could be the per 36 monster in any team, but if you're not on the floor, it's not going to mean a darn thing, kind of like Chris Boucher, right? So looking at this in particular, Nemanja Bjelica, he's still getting out there. He didn't have the best of game, but, that's just a player that has been solid in that aspect. Holmes on Holmes, he kind of fell back into the regular Holmes of what we expected. But, hey, he's still been one of the best players on Sacramento. And Tubog, he was very inefficient. He pumped up the volume from the bench. He took 13 snipes, only made 2. But the 8 assists is very handy. The 13 points in a block. Honestly, although this was a poor shooting game, this guy is still a solid player. And I'll pass you the ball, Jacob, if there's anybody else you want to talk about there, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had 2 streamers in this game, and you already touched up on Corey Joseph, which, yes, he got 35 minutes. And if you need those low end point guard stats, give him a look for sure. And then over on the Celtics side here, I did have Wanamaker, which super surprising that he didn't get the start. Like Brad Stevens, he's not predictable. So he definitely switched it up. Daniel Theus was out.
He started the second half, though.
Oh, okay. Well, he started the second half, and it really didn't help. He went 0 for 8, 4 assist points. So, that stream was a dud. I want to be transparent. That was not a good call. But I still think that he bounces back next game, but I understand if you want to give him pause. Now, here is a great sign from Enes Kanter. Now, I would keep an eye out on the Celtics next game. If Daniel Theis is out, then Enes Kanter should have another game like this: 13 points and 9 boards, efficient 5 for 6. And he lucked into a steal there because he really doesn't get you those stock stats. But keep an eye out on that. If he sticks with Kanter in the starting lineup, then he will definitely be usable. But if Daniel Theis goes right back into the starting lineup, then Kanter to me is definitely droppable. But I would speculatively pick him up just in case he showed Stevens that he should be starting. But he's definitely a name to watch just in case. I'm going to pass the rock there to you, LT. Did you see anything else in this game?
Yeah, definitely, man. I actually like Smart Bomb. Just going over some of his stats. We got to touch up on his 5 swipes tonight. Wow, you love to see that. Yeah, that's crazy. He is always a defensive ball hawk, so you love to see him going after it. When he gets the minutes, he is actually really handy to have in fantasy. He gets you those. He even got you a block, right? Those hustle stats. You love to see it. 7 assists too, and he was efficient. Usually he's not efficient, but he was actually efficient tonight. So he definitely deserved those top honors on this team. But another person I wanted to touch on is Jaylen Brown. I don't want this to go unnoticed. Jaylen Brown is actually doing amazing ever since Gordon Hayward has gone down. He has been just on a tear, and he is taking the second most shots on the team by a pretty handily next to Tatum and Kemba. Third on the team next to Tatum and Kemba when Kemba's in there. But 16 shots tonight. He was definitely the de facto number 2, and he's doing work with it. 9 for 16, 2 snipes, 4 for 5 from the charity, 4 rebounds. Didn't get you any assists, but had a 1 swipe with 24 points, led the team in that area. So I love to see Jaylen Brown be aggressive. A lot of people were down on him just because he's kind of looking, kind of in the wings on that team. But I think he's showing everyone that he has what it takes. He's just playing his role. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that rock over to Starks.
Yeah, and just real quick, the Time Lord Robert Williams got some time there. He did get a block and 2 steals, so that's a good sight to see. And the last guy, you guys pretty much touched up on everybody. But if you could scroll up a little bit, LT, just want to talk about semi-automatics, semi-Ojale, right? He got to 27. He got the 27 minutes. That's a good thing to have on your team. But it was pretty empty. But if there's any glimmer of light, he had a plus, a 10 plus minus rating on the court, 7 points. But obviously G Hayes out, and obviously Kemba Walker's out. So in that aspect, you're hoping Kemba comes back soon. And real quick also about, who was it? Wanamaker in that sense. Although he had a bad game, Jacob, I think he'll be fine for the next day if Kemba's out. This was just kind of was just a really poor game. But that's all I got there. So we can kind of go into the next one there, LT.
All right, no problem. All right, semi-automatic. Wow.
Automatic, he's ready.
Wow, that's a good one, Starks. I'll give you your props on that one. Minnesota versus the Hawks, and we got your boy Kev Towns, 56.6 points in fantasy, top honors. Minnesota did win this game. They're 9-8 right now. And then, of course, Trick or Trey, the original Redux, 50.7. He's on a kill. I love to see the second guy on the list, right? Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
And so Minnesota, Robert Covert Ops, my man, had a game to forget, but that's why we love Covert Ops, right? He had a terrible shooting game, still got you perfect from the free throw. They didn't hurt you there. Got you 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 swipes. So even though he didn't put up the points, he's still giving you those stats that those dirty stats, as we would say. And then I'm not even going to touch on Cat. I'm gonna send it over to the man himself, Starks, to go over his man crush, KarlAnthony Towns.
So Cat had an inefficient game, 8 for 19. But the beautiful thing is he hit 9 to 10 of his free throw shots. And one thing that I've noticed about Cat this year is he's pumping up the volume when it comes to 3-point shots this year. I remember him only taking like a few a game. He's taken a massive amount. And I remember actually one game here recently, he took like either 12 to 16 attempts one game. So the 3-point shot is real from him. The 13 rebounds. And this is what I've been waiting for. Assist, Cat, assist, because you are better than this, right? They gave him the juice. They were juicing that orange this year to say he's going to be Joker-esque, like in a way, to be an assist type of guy, to utilize the ball on top of the key and facilitate the ball. And those 8 assists is beautiful, right? And then he got the 2 blocks and 28 points. Another person, as your boy there, LT, the Culver's Ice Cream, he got the start. And check this out. This is what maybe a lot of people didn't know, but now you know. Jeff Teague was not starting this game. He was fine. That doesn't necessarily mean that he was supplanted, but that's something we need to pay attention to. But he did get the 30 minutes, Jeff Teague, that is. He made all of his free throw shots at 8 assists and 8 points. He's still a valuable guy in fantasy formats in that aspect, but that's something I want to pay attention to because I'm tired to seeing all right, I am being rude to Jeff Teague. He is okay, but I'm tired of seeing him starting. I feel like someone else needs to start at that point guard spot. So just keep that in mind because Culver, LT's guy, Culver's Ice Cream, he did start. So I want to make sure that we all are paying a premium attention to that. But I will pass you the ball there, Jacob, if there's anybody else you want to talk about there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we go over to the Hawks side of the ball, I had 2 streamers this game. Now, I had Damian Jones. He was pretty low on my list, but he got exactly what you needed out of your big man. He was 3 for 3, perfect field goal percentage, and 2 blocks. I mean, that's exactly what you wanted. That's exactly what I thought he would do. So if you need those blocks, he's a very, very, very cheap source there. So definitely give him a look with 3 more games this week. And then DeAndre Bembry, I had as well. He didn't get as many minutes as I was hoping. The past 2 games, he had somewhere in the 30s. So to go down to 16 was pretty disappointing, but I mean, he still went 3 for 4, 7 points and got you a swipe and 3 boards. So it's not like he didn't do anything. He did something solid. Now, I'm going to bring up a Dynasty dandy here who just got sent down, and there was word that he was going to stay in the G League, and that's Bruno Fernando. So it's surprising here that he came up 1, and then he got 17 minutes. He went 5 for 6, got you a 3, got you a steal and a block and 13 points. I mean, he's a headache. It's like, are you going to stay or not? Because if they were to just give him minutes, he would be a fantasy force. But I feel like they're just yanking the chain and just like dangling him in front of us just to yank him away. So I'm going to pass the ball to you there, Starks. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if you guys are familiar with that cartoon terminology when someone's like dancing out there like on the show and then someone puts out the long cane and just yanks the person off the stage. That's what I feel like I'm seeing from that in that aspect. It's an unfortunate thing to see. And it's like, he gets yanked from the cane and then the top hat flies in the air and then it just hits the ground. Yeah. But anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this. But another person I want to talk about is like, I'm tired of seeing this too, is Alex Len. He's getting the rug pulled up off under his feet, man. Like, I understand he's obviously a droppable guy, even in the Dynasty format. This is just a big disappointment. It's almost like the same career for him. It always seems like you want to believe, and then he just disappears. And then sometime around when it doesn't matter anymore at the end of the season, he'll explode. But anyways, getting back to this in particular, DeAndre Hunter, this makes me a little frustrated. But the beautiful thing about this, he didn't have the best of game. But what is good to see, as Jake will always highlights on, is those minutes. The 37 minutes is a beautiful sight to see. Now, he was inefficient, 3 for 10. He got you a block and 7 points. But as long as he's on the floor, I hope that they continue to start him even when John Collins comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, John Collins is the big man there, but I just want to make sure that even that he's still going to play and get those minutes. And Cam Reddish got the start, too. He got heavy minutes. He didn't really do too good, but I'll pass you the ball there, LT, if there's anybody else you want to talk about there.
I'm gonna touch up on 2 right before we switch to the next game. Can't go out without giving props to Jabari Parker constant pickup, probably an earlier pickup. We suggested he is still going strong. I don't think I've heard any news about the exact date of John Collins coming back. So ride him until John Collins comes back, and then we'll have to monitor to see what his minutes look like. But I still think he'll get pretty 25, 28 maybe minutes even when John Collins comes back. He had 33 tonight, which pretty high. He's almost a vet now. And then we're looking at also got to give props. Jabari Parker, got to give props to Andrew Wiggins. 9 for 19, 3 snipes, 4 for 6 from the free throw, 6 rebounds. Oh, man. Only 1 assist. You don't expect him to pass it, but you also don't expect him to steal it. And he had 2 swipes tonight as well as Parker. So those two dandies that are coming in handy are late round draft picks and redraft leagues. I got to give props to them, man. They're keeping it going.
Let me steal the ball and pass it back to you, LT.
Okay. Yeah.
Even in the actually, let's do it in redraft.
Okay.
These 2 players, who do you take? Andrew Wiggins or Brandon Ingram, man? Who do you take?
I would take Wiggins, man.
Jacob, who do you take, man?
In a redraft league, oh my goodness, that's tough. I'm actually surprisingly, I'm going to go with Brandon Ingram here. Even with Zion coming back, I still think he'll do enough to warrant, just because he's so young and he's showing that he can do more than just score and board. So I'm going to roll the dice on Ingram there, but that's not to take away from Wiggins though at all. He's having a great year. What do you think, Starks?
I'm gonna steal the ball real quick just to explain. I'm saying Wiggins because no. I just want to explain. I didn't really explain. So I'm saying Wiggins because Wiggins is doing this with the full team and the roster, and we don't know what Ingram's gonna do with Zion coming back. There's been injuries, Lonzo, So when Zion comes back, if he's still killing it, then it would probably be Brandon Ingram. But I'm going to be honest, even when Zion come back, I would probably go – I can't believe I'm saying this. I'll probably still want Wiggins for just how consistent he's been this year.
All right.
Over to you, Starks.
I'm taking neither one. Go to the next game, please.
I knew you was going to do that. How you want? You just like threw bait out there and we try to catch fish, but like there's no fish in the pond. That's sweet. Anyways, we're gonna go to the next game. Memphis versus the Pacers. Memphis 114 loses to Indiana, and Indiana again is one of those teams like the Heat that are a force. I'm gonna have a strong opinion about the Indiana Pacers in this game, Starks. I think you may think where I'm going with this. But Morant, Rule, only for the rule, baby. 45.40 points from him. And then Sabonis with the top end points. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just screech on over to Indiana. And I'm going to say this, Starks. You're not going to like this. You might agree with me. But Sabonis, DeMontis has supplanted Myles Turner as the big man to own in Indiana. And I'm sorry, I had to say this. Now, Myles Turner did have a good game tonight. Don't get me wrong. What I've seen from DeMontis Sabonis in the last couple of games, comparative to Myles Turner, I don't know if Myles Turner is the preferred big man to own on the Pacers anymore. I'm gonna pass the rock over to you, Starks, and give me your opinion.
Give me. Yeah, that's right. Give me that ball. And real quick, I'm not going to cop out. If I had to choose between Wiggins and Brandon Ingram, unfortunately, I'm picking Ingram. But there's no need for me to dive into that situation. But that's just a messy situation. But this is the same thing that I was hearing last year about Sabonis being the better big man. I was hearing that all season, and then obviously people kind of like disappeared when I asked them, like, who's the better big man now? Now, Sabonis has been exploding this year. That's not to say Sabonis has supplanted Myles Turner. But my question is to you, LT, is this. In a 9-cat category league, do you still you would take Sabonis over Myles Turner is my presumption in this, correct?
So what I'm saying is, Domantas Sabonis at this time is starting to supplant Myles Turner as the big man to own Indiana. Now, if we did a 9-cat redraft, Myles Turner would go before Sabonis every time. But at the end of this season, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to stay the way that it is going now. Because yes, I see what Turner gave you, 5 blocks, right? That's pretty snazzy, right? But look at these Sabonis stats: 5 for 8, doesn't hurt you in field goal percentage. Didn't get you a 3 tonight. That's okay. 3 for 6. You would like a little better free throw. 13 rebounds. Got you 6 assists from a big man. 2 swipes. Didn't get you any blocks tonight, but he does sometimes sneak in a block. And 13 points on an off night, by the way. Off night for him. So that's all I'm saying.
Perfect. This is perfect. I was waiting for this rival moment. So I'm going to hurry up and get through this game, and we're going to come right back to this here momentarily. Perfect. So for the listeners here, because we're going to be back in this. So TJ Warren had an excellent game. Warren G, 11 for 15, 3 snipes, 4 rebounds, 26 points. Also, Jeremy Lamb Chop Underwear, had himself a good game as well, too. 8 for 16. He filled up the stat sheet. He got 19 points, did a good job. Malcolm in the middle, Brogdon had a nice game comeback, and that's really good to see. He was very efficient, hit 2 snipes, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 14 points as well. Looking at the bench mob, as LT would say, the Holiday brothers are getting minutes still. Interesting to see. Goga, we can talk about him all day. I know you guys are tired of me juicing at an orange. He's just a dynasty darling in that aspect. So I just wanted to touch up on Indiana pretty much real quick. But I want to get back to this, LT, because it only makes sense. I wanted to hurry up and get that out the way.
Okay.
So the Myles Turner versus Domantas Sabonis, it's an interesting case. It definitely is. Look at them averages. It's beautiful. 19 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, almost 4 assists. But the question is, we have to remember Dippo is out, right? That's one of the things we have to remind ourselves. Now, this was a good implication for him to do this type of game in particular. But one thing that still holds true is there's other players that can get points and rebounds. It goes back to the Z scores that I mentioned. When you're not getting those blocks, then, of course, who are you in that aspect? Now, if Myles Turner is not getting those blocks, that is an unfortunate sight to see in that aspect. But Sabonis, it's almost essentially almost apples to oranges, as you would say. But I'm going to take those block averages of the 2.1. Now, remember, Myles Turner was hurt too earlier this year. He's missed some games. So to be fair in that aspect, and I honestly still felt like he was going to regress this year. And I have been true on that. So do I think Sabonis in that aspect supplanted Myles Turner? I would say this. I could say not yet, but we will hold that to this matchup, surely soon rival. But I'll pass you the ball, Jacob, if you want to touch up on the next team, or if you want to touch up on anything real quick on Indiana there, brother.
I will say, to keep juicing that orange, really quick, if I were in a points league, I'm choosing Sabonis all day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
He gets you way too many boards and points. But in a 9-cat, I'm choosing Turner all day, just like what LT said. So, yeah, it's very different in scoring formats for sure. But if we can go to the Grizzly side of the ball, now I didn't have any streamers this game, but my 2 favorite streamers who are always widely available, Jay Crowder and Dylan Brooks. Jay Crowder is still getting those minutes, and so is Brooks. I mean, you want players that get those minutes. Now, Jay Crowder, he didn't do much, and he usually gets you a steal or 2. He only got you 9 points, 2 assists, and 3 boards, but he did get you 3 snipes. But Dylan Brooks, he didn't have an efficient night, 4 for 13, but he got you 9 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, and 7 boards, and 1 snipe. So Brooks just continues to produce, and even if he has an off game, which he is prone to the off game every 3 games, like he will have an off game, and then he'll have 3 great games. So don't give up on him. He should be owned in a lot more leagues. So with that, I'm going to pass the ball to LT. You see anything else on there?
Triple J, welcome back. Thank you. Now, I want to make sure everyone understands this game could have been a lot better from Triple J. 10 for 15. He got 15 shots up in 22 minutes. He was in foul trouble this game. So just think if he actually got his full 30 to 35, 30 to 32 minutes based on everyone else's averages, 30 to 31 minutes this game, he would have had a game and a half. So just keep that in mind. 10 for 15, 6 snipes. I love to see that from him. That's one of my that's one of the reasons why I took a chance on him in one of my leagues. I heard that he was working on that 3. So I love to see him actually producing there. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, no stock stats. You hate to see it. But he wasn't on the court enough maybe to, kind of luck into 1 steal or 1 block there. 28 points. Love to see that from him. Love to see that production in limited minutes. I want to see him continue to do this. Even when he has the full minutes, maybe bring the points down, bump them rebounds up and those steals and blocks. I would take that every day of the week, and I'll pass the rock over to Starks. That's all I got.
Yeah, real quick, Ja Morant, as you guys pretty much touched up on him, he actually left this game. It was a little concerning, but he did come back with a double-double at that. So that's a beautiful sight to see. He's been a little bit more consistent versus inconsistent. So that, if anything, from a rookie, that is a good sight to see. Valanciunas had himself a good game, 11 boards and 14 points in that aspect. Brandon Clark, the Dynasty darling, got the 24 minutes, very efficient. Still one of the best players in Memphis there in an ADP value-wise. So we can go on to the next game there, LT.
Definitely. And actually, Starks, while we switch over to the next game, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Dynasty, you got Sabonis or Myles Turner?
I'm still going to take Myles Turner in the Dynasty format.
All right, cool. All right, we're going to switch over. Remember that, guys. We're going to switch over to Utah versus Milwaukee. No, I'm just joking, man.
No, you're not.
I seriously would too right now.
You wanted this. This is what I was waiting for.
I want Sabonis. I do want Sabonis. So you always been a Turner guy. I want to see him fail. Anyways, Utah 118 to Milwaukee's 122. And there's just a absolutely ridiculous points total from the Greek Freak. 81.80 points.
I'm going to bust you up.
81.80 points.
I'm going to bust you up.
Bog, the Redux Utah version, 35.60 is your points total leader there. And in Utah, and we'll go ahead and touch into. Actually, no. You know what? I don't care about Utah. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going straight to the Greek Freak. The Greek Freak. 17 for 31, 3 snipes. And I'm going to talk about this real quick. Free throws, 13 for 19. That has been the glaring weakness for Greek Freak all year, but it has been a reoccurring theme in some of the top performers in fantasy that their free throws are down this year in general, all around the board. So I don't know why that is, but free throw percentages are just down from last year at this time. 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and half of 100 points. 50. That's right. That's 50.
Wow, nice.
My goodness, what a man. That is a man's man. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm getting flustered over here, Starks. Go ahead and take it from me. What do you see anything else from Milwaukee?
As you just disrespected Utah, I will say this real quick. just straight skated them. Like, listen, I'm going to give it a cheat code to you guys and also the listeners. I am working on this article. I'm going to have to probably push this before Christmas time. I was going to wait till Christmas, but I feel like if I don't get this article out here soon, it almost feels like it might lose its flavor. But the cheat code is Greek Freak is in this article. Just so you listeners, stay tuned to that article I'm going to put together. Something that's going to be pretty much uniquely and different and special. But he dropped the 50 bomb burger. As you be disrespectful, Jacob will touch up on Utah. But before we do that, since you just did that disrespectfully, Dante DiVincenzo is a guy that me and Jacob has been talking about. Now, although he was inefficient this game, he started, he got the minutes, He got you a couple of hustle stats there. you know, he's going to be okay. He's not going to take a lot of shots, but even this amount of shots was good. Brooke Lopez, yucky, inefficient wise, right? That's a terrible line. And then look, now they want to use Pat Connaughton, right? 27 minutes for him, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 11 points. I'm just tired of them not using him. But, you know, that's probably because Curious George didn't play this game. That's why. Why he didn't get the minutes, right? Mm-hmm. So if you could scroll back up a little bit there, LT, Eric Bledsoe inefficient, but Wesley Snipes, your boy there, LT. He hit a couple of snipes there, a few snipes. So he did actually really well, 19 points. But, yeah, we could scroll back up to Utah, and Jacob could touch up on this team in particular. But I definitely want to touch up on one guy here that I've been talking about before I pass it to Jacob, and it's Tony Bradley. As you guys probably see me tweet, and at the same time I mentioned on yesterday's episode on the Streamings and Waiver Wire article, but before I don't think that was on the article, but I wanted to add that in there, just my logic on it, to take a speculative ad, a waiver wire ad on a player that potentially could get some time. Now, I had mentioned Gobert because he didn't play this game, but if he doesn't play, just go ahead and just be quick, be the first person, because a lot of people are going to assume he comes back. So you will be the GM, the owner, to be a little bit aggressive if you're in the higher standings and take a flyer and see what happens, even if it's only one game and even if he doesn't get the play. But anyways, 23 minutes, and this is what he did in 23 minutes, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and 8 points. Now, he did get in foul trouble with 5 fouls, but again, as I continue to beat this drum, you give this guy 30 minutes, it's almost over. He's a Gobert-like type of player, and I mean that. This is no joke. This is no shenanigan. This is not fraudulent activity. This is real. It's just all about the opportunity if it comes in the heels of Gobert getting hurt. Now, if Gobert misses another game, then obviously Bradley's he's going to be that option for you. And I'm going to still say this as well, juicing this orange. If Utah is in a good spot where they don't need to win games, and what I mean by that, they got their playoff seed locked in, then Tony Bradley, you need to have your eyes in a shallow league like a hawk. Because if Gobert, if you feel any sniffs of load management because they don't need to play Gobert and they're getting prepared for the NBA playoffs, Tony Bradley is your guy that's going to help you in the fantasy format, in any format that is, and that is real. And I'll pass you the ball there, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That's a great point. I mean, Bradley is a great streamer for as long as Rudy's out. And then one of my top streamers here, he gets no respect here in any leagues, is Royce O'Neal.
It's the 5'9".
Yeah, that's right. Man, he is always getting you anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, even with Rudy there. So he is like a linchpin on that team for his defense. That's why Utah is such like a defense-oriented team. Now, they couldn't stop Giannis, but who can? Like, to be honest, who can stop Giannis, So Royce O'Neal there, he was very efficient. All of his shots were from 3. He got you 3 snipes. He got you 3 boards. He got you an assist. He got you 2 blocks and 9 points. He usually gets you those hustle stats there, the steals and blocks, which is super valuable. And as long as he's getting those 30 to 40 minutes, he's not the sexiest name. He's not going to get you a ton of points, but he gets you those hustle stats, just like Chris Dunn, just like all of those steal specialists or block specialists. Like, those are very valuable when you're streaming, and he still has 3 more games this week. So that is my little soapbox rant on Royce O'Neal. He's boring, but he gets the job done. And then also, it's good to see here, I want to touch up on one more player on the Jazz. Joe Ingles has been struggling mightily this year. Yeah, it's good to see him have a game here. He got you 3 snipes, 5 boards, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 15 points. Usually he is just a bankable asset on a 9-cat or a points league, but I see him being dropped in a lot of points leagues because he's not doing anything, and he's getting you little in 9-cats, so he's being held on to there. But this is a good sign. I always say, wait for him to do this at least 3 times in a row before you buy in again. But there's enough people. He's owned in around 68, 70% of leagues. So a lot of people don't want to let him go. But I mean, he was owned in a lot of leagues to start the year. So check to see what he does next game, and see if you want to pick him up if he's available. So those are my soapbox. My soapbox rants is Royce O'Neal and Joe Ingles. But that was a fun game right there. That's for sure. I'm going to pass the ball. I'm going to pass the ball to you there, LT. Is there anything else, or do we want to move on?
Nah, man, y'all played enough jazz, smooth jazz for everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and
ears are bleeding there.
Yeah, smooth jazz. That's cool. Anyways, we're gonna go into the Orlando-Detroit game, and Orlando, 88 points without Vooch and Gordon. They're having trouble scoring. Yeah, Detroit with 103 wins. They needed to win badly. Mo Bamba. That's right. Mo Bamba with the top in points leagues, 34.90 points there. And then Luke, I am your father, Kennard, 40.30. Wow. Really good. That's actually really good. Had more in points leagues than Drummond tonight. And I wanted to go ahead and touch up on Orlando here. I'm going to touch up on my guys because you guys have a lot of people on Orlando you like. So I'm going to touch up on T-Pain. Terrence Ross, 7 for 14, 3 snipes, 2 for 3 from the charity, 2 rebounds. And we told you guys before that more than likely with the Aaron Gordon going down and Vooch, Terrence Ross was probably going to be the guy to come in, shoot the ball a little bit more, do a couple more things here and there. And so he is, and he played 30 minutes tonight. So you love to see that. If you've been streaming him or have streamed him or picked him up, if he wasn't available, good job to you. And that's all I have on this team right now. Aminu is no. No, nothing on Aminu, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the rock over to the White Knight and see if he had any streamers or anything he wanted to talk about on Orlando.
So I actually didn't have any streamers on the Magic, but I want to touch up on Kem Birch. Even though he's starting, I know that a bunch of deep league people took a chance on him because why wouldn't you? I mean, he's obviously getting the minutes, and nobody wants to see him succeed more than I do because he comes from the UNLV Runnin' Rebels from which is my hometown. So I'm rooting for him, but he just doesn't have a solid game, and he's only in there because he's tall. I mean, he's 6'10" and he can get you boards, but he's not very special. So if you picked him up in a deep league, if 2 for 3 and 6 boards and 6 points will get the job done for you if you're in like a 24-team league, then absolutely keep him. But I just don't see him doing much else there. Now it's great to see Bamba is playing well with those 2 steals and 3 blocks. I mean, that's incredible. It's just I'm worried about. Okay, is he going to miss next game? Like, how are they going to take the kids' gloves off of managing him because Vooch is out and they need him, or is he still? I don't know. Now, right now, you got to ride him and you got to add him in any league he's available in 14, 16. Team leagues, and I'm actually going to pass you the ball there, Starks. Do you agree, or what are your thoughts on your boy Bamba?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about him in a few episodes ago, doing a Dynasty outlook on him in particular. I want him in the Dynasty format. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And honestly, real quick, I'll go ahead and ISO this as well, too. Now, Vooch, he's already shed the crutches off of what I'm hearing. He's probably in a rush to get back on the floor because he knows that the talent of Bamba is real, and that's just being honest. Now, you're right. Are they going to take the gloves, the kids' gloves off of him? I mean, I don't know, but he's one of those guys too. If he's on the floor, it's for real. But is he going to stay healthy, or are they going to still play cats and robbers? I don't even know where I was going with that. But the thing is, the important thing is that I hopefully they use him more often than not. But, like you had mentioned, Kem Birch, He's still getting the minutes there. I'll kind of segue into some of the players here because I know LT does not want to talk about Orlando, which makes sense. Jonathan Isaac, again, of course, you guys know I've been beating the drum on him, but the 4 blocks,
lovely.
It is lovely. I don't know how sustainable the blocks are going to be for him this year, especially him averaging 3 blocks a year currently around that range. But I would still try to sell him to see if I can get something very juicy in return. But I'll touch up on one of your guys there real quick, Jacob. Markelle Fultz, because this is a good site here. 29 minutes, 7 for 12. Was that 4 rebounds, 3 assists? He got you 3 steals and 16 points. Nice. I really hope this guy is going to be okay this year. And what I mean by that is that he's going to get these consistent minutes, and at the same time, he's not hurt. But go ahead, LT, run that offense on Detroit side, man.
Of course. And I just want to ask you, Starks, do you know it, or White Knight, you guys didn't have an inside scoop on West Side Story, Wundu, anything on him or no? I don't. There's I'm gonna be honest. There's nothing special about him, but what I will say is he's definitely worth an ad if you're in a very deep format because he's starting. You got to be in a very deep format. I didn't know why he was starting. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check in with that. All right, we are gonna go into Detroit side, and I have to eat crow when the crow is available on my plate. Derrick Rose, 1 for 11.
Wilted.
He wilted hard, but hey, every rose has its day, and today just wasn't Rose's day. 0 for 4 from the 3.
It was a thorny day.
Hey, the Thornberries. 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Got you a block, though. So
he saved the day with that block.
Blocking 6 assists, so he still contributed. Kind of tanked your field goal percentage at the start of the week, but hey, you rock with Rose. Rose will rock with you. Next game will be better for him, I'm sure. I am going to touch on another player. I know it's surprising, but Luke, you are my father, Kennard. 6 for 11, 3 snipes. I love this guy. 5 for 5 from the charity. 4 rebounds, 7 assists. He was diamond out there. 1 steal and 1 block. This guy, look at the minutes. 34 minutes. Even when they're at full strength. Right. I don't see anybody. I mean, maybe Reggie Jackson, but come on now, come on, dog. We ain't worried about Reggie Jackson. Luke Kennard is for real. He is entrenched in this lineup, even when they're at full strength. If you can get him, pick him up. He's probably already picked up in most leagues. But, man, I love what he's bringing to the table. I'll go ahead and switch the rock over to you, Starks. Anybody on Detroit you want to talk about?
Nah, just Jacobs, the guy that Jacob talks about is like, you guys pick him up. Langston Galloway, man. That's right. The 4 for 11. He took all of his snipe shots from the 3-point line, and that's very handy. Not only that, but he got you 5 assists. Those are stats that are freaking underrated that you need on a team. So, to get those snipes on top of that, I'll say that this is a weird stat. Check this out, guys. What if I said, and I mean, you guys can see it yourselves, Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond tied together took the less amount of shots from Langston, Luke, and Bruce Almighty Brown. Yeah. They're supposed to be the superstars. Andre Drummond took 6 attempts. Now, I'll say this. Obviously, they beat Orlando.
Right.
But they didn't want none of that volume shot today. But I'll pass you the ball there. Actually, let's get to the next game, man, real quick.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Oh, okay. We're good. All right. We'll go ahead into the next game. Next game, we're going to Brooklyn and Cleveland. And Brooklyn comes out on top. And there's just ridiculous. Jared Allen, look at that smile. He's smiling from ear to ear. 63.70 points in a points format. He monstered Drummond, stole Drummond's powers in this one. Larry Nance Jr. Look at that smile, more of a smirk. Larry Nance had 43.60 points, and we're gonna go straight into Brooklyn. And I am going to touch up on the Prince of All Saiyans, 7 for 14, 4 snipes. Love to see it from that guy. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 swipe, 18 points. Gotta touch up on my guy, right? Joe Reagan. No, I'm sorry. Joe Harris, 33 minutes pretty much, 8 for 17, 3 snipes, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and got you 2 swipes. Like I stated before, I want Joe Harris. I love his game. I love his vigor, his swag, and I want to see him do well on this team, especially without Kyrie. I expected lines like this every game. And I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to the White Knight to see if you wanted to touch up on anybody else on Brooklyn.
I got to talk about Spencer Dinwiddie, Colorado Buffalo here. He hit the game-winning shot
good
here.
Winner. Sure did.
Proud of him right there, man. He had an inefficient game, but he's doing his best. He's doing his best while Kyrie is out, and they look like a solid team without Kyrie. I mean,
it's crazy. Yeah,
I know that's like a same old story. Wherever Kyrie goes, he just hogs that ball. But they look smooth out there, and Dinwiddie's doing a solid job right there. 23 points, 3 blocks. That's an outlier, but that's lovely. That you will definitely take that to start your week for sure. And 9 assists. Just a great game by him. And Dinwiddie, man, props to him. He was named Eastern Conference Player of the Week. So that awesome. And then really quick on the Nets, Garrett Temple. I know that Starks doesn't like him, but he's getting heavy minutes. If you are in a deep league, he's getting you those snipes. He only got you 1 here, but he's getting you those steady across the board stats, even if they're low end. So I mean, if you need help while Kyrie's gone, he's not a bad option there. I know he's not a sexy name. He's boring, but yeah. He's getting the job done as he's out for sure. But I'm going to pass the ball to you there, Starks. Anyone on the Nets or the Cavs?
Legends of the Hidden Temple, Shirley Temple, Garrett Temple. Hey, you're absolutely right. 36 minutes. This guy's getting minutes, so you got to give respect for what it is. Regardless if it's low-end stats, he's getting out there, so he could potentially be a stream option. Wouldn't be surprised if he's on your list here next week, right? But just the Dynasty potential darling, Denzin Musa, he did get a little bit more minutes this game. He didn't do too much with it, but, like I said, I just want to remind to the listeners of players that you can maybe consider. And then Nicholas Claxton is another guy that could be potentially good. So just give it some time. If you could scroll up a little bit there, LT, had 3 blocks in that short amount of time. Nice. So he is definitely a player that is a potential darling in that aspect. And Jared Allen, as much as I give him a hard time, obviously, like you guys said, he had a good game. Let's go ahead and go on the Cleveland side. And this comes on the heels of Kevin Love. Again, what's Love got to do with it? I guess there's no Love here because he wasn't even playing this game. Didn't need him. Actually, maybe they did need him because they lost. But Larry Nance Jr., he continues to do. He's been doing really good the last few games in that aspect. I don't know if it's me, but if it feels weird, it feels weird to me because it seems like is Nance, is he going to really be in Cleveland? He just seems like one of those players that I can't foresee to stay in Cleveland his whole career. But, I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But Triscuits or Biscuits, he did get you to 10 rebounds. I can't take this serious. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll say this one more player, and then I can't keep talking about Cleveland because it's hard. Kevin Porter Jr., he got the minutes, though, the 29 minutes, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 points, 2 steals. This is just a guy, as I said, as Cleveland continues to be the wasteland team that they are, if you're more in a shallow league, just keep him on your watch list. And whenever Kevin Love does, potentially don't play in load management, then he would be a stream option. But I will pass you the ball there, LT, if you want to touch up on anybody there, man.
Yeah, I'm going to touch up on Cleveland a little bit, but I wanted to just point out in Brooklyn, one of the main differences they've provided in the last couple of games is that the minutes change between Jared Allen, DeAndre Jordan has flopped. So Jared Allen's getting more minutes than DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan doesn't play this game. Of course, Jared Allen gets the opportunity to produce, gives you a 20-20 game. I think they're realizing Jared Allen is the better player in Brooklyn. So hopefully that bodes well for Jared Allen the rest of the year, and they let DJ just be DJ, off the bench.
DJ Clue.
DJ A. DJ Clue. Anyways, so on Cleveland side, I got to touch up on Cedi Osman. 6 for 8, 1 snipe, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 15 points. This is all I asked of him. This is all I asked. I don't expect him to be a world beater, but when you get 30 minutes, I expect you to produce at least some of these type of stats. Of course, you would prefer maybe a little bit more points or maybe a little bit more rebounds. But hey, he got Larry Nance and Tristis or Biscuits gobbling up rebounds left and right. So I'll take it. Keep this up, Shetty. He's ever since, I hate to hate it, but going against the Blazers seems to spark players right back into it. And speaking of spark players, is Michael Jordan out there? Oh no, just kidding. It's Jordan Clarkson, but he's killing it the last 2 games. Like he's Michael Jordan, 8 for 17, 5 snipes. I single-handedly watched him destroy my Blazers the other night. I don't even know words to describe how infuriated I was watching Jordan Clarkson do that to me. 3 assists, no stock stats, because guess what? He really never does. But he's getting you those points in those points format. So you love to see it. And I'm going to pass the rock over to you, White Knight. Anybody you want to touch on?
That's perfect. You guys touched up on everything. I'm going to hot potato pass it right back to you, brother.
That sounds amazing, brother. I appreciate that. And we're going to touch into I'm just kidding. We're going to touch into the next game.
The only game that matters.
That matters, right? Yeah, I was going to say that, but it doesn't. Portland finally gets a win. Portland gets a win.
Throw a parade.
And of course, I got to make sure I'm on the screen for this. My man Carmelo Anthony with the top in the points. I'm doing the 3 to the dome. I know those guys can't see me. 3 to the dome. You got to show it. 38 points, 60 points. Barely goes past Lillard on this one. Zach LaVine. Oh, gosh. Guess what? Chicago Bulls, we put you down. We got Whiteside back, so our defense is a little bit better. But Carmelo Anthony, the screen can't even contain its joy. 10 for 20, 4 snipes. Whoo, I'm doing 3 to the head. 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He even lucked into a steal stat there. 25 points. If you scrambled and picked up Melo, he shot the ball 20 times. 20 times. He's not shy. He's acting like he's the star of Portland. I don't know how long that's going to last. He's acting like he's the main guy there. He's not, but ride it while he's hot. And like I said last game, he's going to have those open threes. He actually hit them this game. So that's what you like to see. I will touch up on Lillard because he's my favorite player. So 4 for 10 was not efficient. 4 free throws, but look what he's doing. He's changing his game up a little bit. 12 assists. You usually don't see Lillard get these assist stats, but he has 12 assists tonight. Looks like he's dishing that rock out a little bit more. And he had 2 swipes. Only 13 points, but he still gave you some good value there as your leading point guard on your fantasy team, probably. So that's all I got right now for Portland. I'll go ahead and pass the rock over to you, Starks, and see if you had anything you wanted to add.
I'm gonna give a real hot pass to Jacob on his thoughts on Carmelo Anthony because I know he actually went in on him when he said he was yucking, he was chucking him up. And he said he can just watch it in the YMCA and stuff like that. So I'll pass you the ball, Jacob. What's your thoughts, man?
Am I wrong? I mean, he's still just hugging up those shots, and all the kids there are just watching him. Carmelo, look at that. You know what's funny is that this morning I was scrambling, like LT said, and I actually picked him up in our Listener Points League just as a Hail Mary. Hey, he's getting volume. And he got me a ton of points, like free points, I feel like. So I'm going to keep riding that volume until he's finally cut. So if you have him, you hold on to him. I mean, like he won them a game. So I don't know how long that's going to last. But like I said, he's a fantasy contributor. It's just that he's capping the upside of all these kids here. Like Nasir Little only got 17 minutes tonight. And like you said, Lillard, I mean, he didn't have an efficient game. He got assists because I assume that he was surprised that Carmelo made those shots that I'm sorry, man. I'm giving him such a hard time. I just feel bad for the kids there, man. I feel bad for the kids.
I feel bad for the kids. Oh man!
Yeah, I mean, just like look at it, man. Nasir Little, the time is getting stripped, man. Every Simon's like their minutes are getting chicken stripped, man. That's not cool, man. It's not cool, man. But go ahead, Jacob. Go ahead, Jacob, man. Go ahead, man.
Eating my crow for tonight, all right? It tastes pretty bad. But we can touch up on that more if you want. But I'm going to go to the Bulls side here. I have one guy that I suggested as a streamer, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Chris Dunn. He only got you 11 minutes, but I always have him as a streamer for his steals, and he did get you one steal. He only got you 4 points, a steal, like I said, an assist. He went 2 for 8. He didn't play any minutes tonight, but it was a blowout game, and they didn't need him. But I still, if you need steals, Dunn is your man. So that's all I would love to just pass over Lauri. All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna steal the ball real quick. You could talk about your guy Lauri, but I gotta be real on your boy Lauri real quick, man.
All right,
Lauri Markkanen, like this. I'm tired of these stat lines that you're doing. Man. You're better than this, right? Listen, not only that, I felt like maybe Carmelo like hurt his feelings or something. Was he posting Lauri up? Like, did he do this game on Lauri Markkanen? Because like Lauri Markkanen did nothing. Like he shot 3 for 7. Like he only took 7 shots. Like, dude, take the shot, man. You got Shaq Harrison almost making taking as many shots as you. Like, what is going on? 3 assists, 10 points. What are you doing, man? Like, I can't take it, man. Just take the ball, demand the rock, and just take over. This is your team, essentially, with Zach LaVine. I can't take it, man. But no, go ahead. I had to get that out, man.
You took the words right from my mouth. If I'm following my own rule, he's had 3 dud games in a row. So it's not officially panic time because he has a long track record here, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But 3 games in a row where he scores 9, 3, and then 10 this game. Hardly any boards. I mean, like 7 boards, 6 boards, and then 1 board. He is in a major slump, and I think his oblique is messing with him a lot more than he's letting on. That's what I want to believe, at least, just because he's just not wanting the ball. He's very passive, even though his assists are pretty low too. So it's not like he's facilitating. So I'll be honest with you, I'm at like a 30% panic mode, whereas I wasn't panicking at all this season. So I still have faith that he's going to right the ship, but it may take a week or 2 for him to get over this situation. I would actually rather him go on the injured list and just heal up for at least a week so that he can come back refreshed. But yeah, if you are an owner, there's no need to sell because you won't get anything back for him. Like there is no reason. You might as well just hold. So that's all I got to say about Lauri there. Do you got any more thoughts there, LT?
Yeah, when Denzel Washington's chucking up more shots than you know it's time. Denzel, the Valentine. It ain't even February yet, and 10 shots and Lord, I don't understand. It's what's weird about it is that we believe in him more than he believes in himself right now, right? Like we actually believe in his abilities. I've seen him go on crazy streaks, fantasy wise and just in real life, and. It's kind of sad to see him. I almost want to say that Kobe White, just with the amount of volume he's adding to the team, he doesn't know how to fit in, where to take his shots at, what to do. Maybe they're unsure, but they're going to have to figure it out because in order to win games, they definitely need Lauri Markkanen I don't even know if they're trying to win games, but they definitely need Lauri Markkanen firing on all cylinders. But the last game that has finished is the Lakers 114 to the Spurs 104. And the regular scheduled programming with the Lakers, man. LeBron, the King James, 57.6 coming in with the top points total. And LaMarcus, Mr. Boring Aldridge with 41 points. And he's like the Spurs top like two players are like a well-oiled machine. They're just la going along on their days. Lakers, LeBron James, guys, this guy is a monster. How old is he again?
It's like 33, 34.
34. Crazy what he's doing at this age. 35 minutes, 13 for 24. He's like doing the Vince Carter, right? 4 snipes tonight. Just switching his game up. Yeah, Benjamin Button doing the Vince Carter. As Greek Freak, those strong big types who love to go to the basket are having troubles with those free throws. 3 for 8, 14 assists. Again, I'm going to say that again, 14 assists. And I believe LeBron is leading I may be wrong, but I think he's either 1 or 2 leading the league in assists this year, which is absolutely ridiculous. He's actually playing as the point guard on this team pretty much. So, it's just crazy. 1 block, 33 points. He's on a tear. I'm not even gonna talk about Anthony Davis. I'm gonna let one of you guys gush about him. But as far as everyone else, one of White Knights players that he did mention is Rondo himself. Actually got fined recently for being a meanie. But 24 minutes. 32, 5 for 9, 3. Guys, this is what I want to talk about. Why is Rondo? I got to talk about this. This is bothering me. This is bothering me so much. Why is Rondo actually sniping? What is going on? Please tell me what's going on. 3 snipes.
Probably
1 snipe.
Probably like you remember when Jason Kidd couldn't hit 3-point shots, man, back in the day?
That's all.
All of a sudden when he got super old, he just started hitting some. But that's probably what he's doing now.
But Rondo couldn't shoot at all. Starks like he couldn't even.
neither could Kid. Man.
Yeah, Kid had a mid range, right? He had a little mid range. Kid had a little. Maybe not. Okay. They always talked about Rondo's big hands. He couldn't shoot free throws either, but he can shoot threes now. 3 for 3. He's efficient. What? He took 5 snipes last game. Like why? I don't get it. This is crazy to me. What he's turning into, and he gets you those sneaky steals. He gets steals as well, but those sneaky assists as well. The last couple of games, not so much this game, but 5 rebounds. Wow. I'm gonna pass the rock over to White Knight. See if you had anything else to touch on this game.
Yep. I appreciate you bringing him up because he was my pick for this week in Points League, and he definitely got you at least anywhere from like 20 to 30 points for you right there in Points Leagues for sure. And I want to bring up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He's been playing great over the past 2 weeks, and if he keeps this up, he's definitely going to be on my streaming list because first of all, he is a 3-point dandy. Tonight he had 3 snipes. He had 2 steals and a block. He usually gets you some steals when he's on, and he got you 14 points. So I'm hoping that when Avery Bradley comes back, I'm hoping that they shift Bradley to the bench and keep Pope in the starting lineup because he feeds well off of James. I mean, like who doesn't, right? I mean, but he feeds well off of James because James loves 3-point shooting, and that's what Pope does. And so Pope is wide open and James drives, he passes out and Pope for the 3, So I really hope he sticks. I hope Pope sticks. That's all I got. So I'm going to pass the ball to you there, Starks. What did you see over there?
Yeah, that was a good drop of knowledge there because he has been a top 70 player within the last 4 to 5 games there in fantasy. Yeah, Caldwell Pope. So that is a good call there. That's important for you listeners there to kind of get an idea of one thing that's an additional cheat code is you want to put more logic on who's being hot for the last few games, because that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be that player. Because I don't think any of us are expecting KCP to be a top 70 player. But when a player is hot, you got to ride that wave for a little while in that aspect. But just real quick, it's hard for me to even touch up on any of these teams. But I'll say this. I didn't even know. I must have been living under a rock here, because I didn't know the Lakers was 15-2. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
You were undefeated. Wow. Man, so, but, Anthony Davis, he was inefficient, 12 rebounds, assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 19 points. I got nothing else for the Lakers. I'll pass you the ball there, LT.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that, man. I'll go ahead and go over to the Spurs, which I know we probably won't spend too much time on, but I am gonna talk about Maurice Pomade like I usually do, but I'm gonna go ahead and I threw in the white towel, my fellow Maurice Pomade owners, doing the white towel.
Did you?
I took him out. I switched him up for Kobe White. Kobe White was available. I went in.
That's got to be a shot. I'm assuming that's a shallow league, right?
That's our points league.
Oh, points, that shallow league. Okay.
Yeah, we picked up Kobe White. It was either Kobe White or Carmelo, and it looks like I picked the right one because the White Knight took Melo. But 21 minutes, 2 for 6. I mean, I'm falling asleep reading these stats. What is going on, Dej? Get aggressive. Where's the free throws?
Come on, man. That's y'all's boy, man.
I know, 8 rebounds. I mean, are you a big man or are you a point guard? Get out there, pass the rock, and get aggressive. And San Antonio's doesn't look like it's going to be a great team. I mean, come on now. Jake the Snake is starting at center right now. I mean, come on now, Jacob Poetry. Poetry. Jacob Poetry starting at center. Yeah, had as many rebounds as Murray's Pomade. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass the rock over to you, Stark. See if you have anything to talk about on the Spurs.
Nah, I'm going to turn over the ball purposely on the Spurs. Jacob, you have anything for the Spurs?
Really quick, I had 2 streamer plays right here. Jakob Hurdle, he got exactly what I wanted him to do. 8 boards and a block, and he's starting. He's getting minutes, so that's definitely nice to see. And then I had Fatty Patty Mills here. He got you 2 snipes, exactly what you wanted. 2 snipes and a steal. So that's wonderful. And that's all I want to talk about with the Spurs for sure. So
I got one thing for the Spurs. I see Jakob Poeltl start, like you said. What happened to Trey Lyles? They got tired of that experiment and starting, or what?
Finally, man. Trey Lyles, he's a bum, man. I'm sorry. That was a terrible experiment. All of Denver despises him.
Why is Christmas Carol only? Okay, all right. Anyway.
Yeah, no, he should be good. Yeah.
More run.
I don't know. He's a Popovich guy, I don't know. Damari Carroll.
Oh man!
For her Forbes, who's starting over?
Oh man, the Spurs will suck the life out of you in fantasy.
They're a mess.
God,
yeah, you either have DeRozan or Aldridge, or you just don't.
I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Starks. In a dynasty league, if the Spurs keep losing, would you keep your eye on Lonnie Walker?
Lonnie Walker, yes, I would. Absolutely would. I really want him to get out on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes, in a dynasty format, they continue to lose. Yes, absolutely.
Right on. That's good.
But yeah, I'll say this real quick before was that the last game, LT?
That was the last game.
Woo, because man, I'm gonna tell you right now, that Spurs game, Spurs will put you to sleep, man. That was a good lullaby. But since this was the last game in that aspect, and I'm sorry for you Spurs fans out there, but hey, at least you guys got your championship, so feel good about that, right?
Truly.
So before we get to the clutch shots, let's go ahead and hit this commercial here, ladies and gentlemen. This was a long episode, but make sure you guys check out newlifefantasy.com. Write a review. I'm all over the place. Write a review on the Take a Ride podcast. Subscribe. Yeah, I'm super all over the place. Sub-Zero. That subscribe button on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Comment below. Make sure you hit that bell, that dinner bell. That dinner bell is going to be good eating for you once you get in that YouTube channel. And then after you do that, you're going to feel good because when you do that, you're going to see our faces to have a good time. I need to turn off this commercial, but let me say this real quick. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but please make sure you help us out and subscribe in that aspect. Yes. It definitely helps us out to keep the lights on and everything in particular. So we just love you listeners in that aspect. Tell your friends, tell family members or friends, and just to help us out to subscribe even to the podcast, the YouTube, our website, join the mailing list. And obviously, like LT's putting the hard work behind the YouTube channel. So please make sure you support that. Jacob's putting a lot of hard work in those articles and blogs. Again, we don't just do fantasy basketball. We handle the football and fantasy baseball side of things. We also share some faith there as well. Mm-hmm. So check that out. If you guys got any questions on, about faith in Christ in particular, I will be an open book on that. We will be an open book to help you out in that aspect, because although we love fantasy sports, we don't mind to talk about Christ. That's something we're not ashamed of. So the blogs that are out there, Jacob just dropped the waiver wire article for fantasy football. That's, a beautiful thing to look at. Jacob also has the streams for the week. So the week is not over yet, right? So you can still do the streaming options out there. We got the Pump Up the Volume article. Jacob also has the Lauri Markkanen article, although he's been struggling, but that's okay. There's better days to come. LT is working on the Sage Eye, so keep a lookout for that. And I'm also working on a Christmas special. And then, again, I meant to say this. Jacob is working on a Thanksgiving article. So, guys, be ready. Be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a nice, beautiful article written up on that. And again, LT was going to finally drop his first blog. We've been waiting 20 years plus for this, right? So it's only just a matter of time whenever he brings it, but it may not come. We just never know. But look at that art card. He's about ready.
Nice.
So that's the commercial. Dynasty, I was going to give a Dynasty outlook, but my clutch shot here. I'll just be quick about it. Fantasy football is just more of football. Like, I don't know if anybody's seen this Ravens game, but the Ravens just busted up the Rams. The Rams look nothing like what they did in the Super Bowl. They don't even look like the team they were last year. But Ravens busted them up. Lamar Jackson, I guess he's the real deal. And I'll pass you the ball there, Jacob. What's your clutch shot there, brother?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I mean, I love everything that you said there. I want to urge all of you fantasy basketball heads out there to go to the streaming article and to just look up and bookmark that just to see how many games each team play this week, who has the back-to-back games. Now, it's going to be a few teams have back-to-back games. Now, don't forget that there's no games on Thanksgiving.
The charts are back.
The charts are back.
Yes.
So bookmark that. I mean, like, I reference it a lot, and Starks references it, and LT does too. I mean, like, it's not just something that we make just for you guys. I mean, like, we use it too. So use that to your advantage, guys, because we want to help you guys win. So that is my clutch shot there. I'm going to pass the ball to you there, LT. What's your clutch shot, brother?
Man, my clutch shot is continue to show us that support on the YouTube channel. Again, just let us know if there's anything you want to see, any differences you want us to make the content suited for the viewers, because that's what we're here for. Other than that, definitely bookmark this streaming and waivers. I'm telling you what, I look through it every day. I look at it and see what I can do, what I can't do. It's really a good tool to use on a daily basis, especially if you're serious about your league, serious about getting that hardware, serious about getting that trophy. Right. Go check out these articles. Other than that, as Stark said earlier, I will be having a blog. I will be getting my blog, Sage Eyes Edition, for sure. You see Kawhi looking up to the sky. He sees the blog coming. If Kawhi's looking out for the blog, you know it's coming. So keep, exactly. Exactly, Start. Yeah, you feel that. So yeah, that's my clutch shot. I'm gonna pass the rock over to Starks himself.
Oh, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the massive turnovers that I had this episode. But, hey, at least you get the realness of me, especially when it gets late at night. You just get the lot. What? you get the silliness. But you guys can follow me on my Twitter. You follow me on my Twitter handle. It's @Starks_industry. You can also follow me on Instagram, One Closing Hero. If you guys, tweet at me, I'll answer, any questions in particular. I'll try to get to them at a prompt time in that aspect. Now, I will say this because I know I get a lot of those secret DMs. When you look at me at the screen, I got my eyes on you. When you do that, I just prefacize on you when you do that to make sure that I'm going to have you to do a list of things because I know that you're competitive. What's up? What's up, LT?
Prefacize on them. I like that. I like that word.
That's right.
Yeah. That weird, awkward silence. Listen, for those that jump in a DM, just please make sure that I'm going to give you a list of things because, again, if you're competitive like we are, I'll definitely help you out because I know you don't want your questions answered in public. But if you do the DMs, then there's going to be a requirement, but it's not going to be hard. It's nothing you're going to pay out of pocket either. But I will definitely help you on that aspect. So again, give me a follow and I'll answer any questions. And Jacob, where can they find you at, brother?
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter at @AintDoneYet, and done is spelled DUNNE. I'd love for you guys to follow me and ask me any questions. And God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. I'm going to pass the ball over there to you, LT.
Appreciate that, man. Where they can find me at _Sage Network _ on IG. You can also find me at Sage Network X on Twitter. Send me any questions about anything. I'll answer any questions. Just let me know. And again, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to switch the ball over. I'm going to do a behind the back pass through my legs over to Starks for the final shot.
Thank you. Got it. So you guys, love you. God bless you guys. It's always a humbling thing that you guys are still listening to us and even followed me from the beginning. So like I said, I really, it means a lot to me in that aspect, but we love you guys for sure. So with that being said, have a good evening, morning, afternoon, and take a ride.